Welcome to another edition of Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willis, your host. I'm here with Amelia Hartley. She is a voter in Georgia, correct?
I'm registered in Georgia. I'm currently living in Texas, in Dallas, Texas, and that's where the issue is.
So, are you you are going to vote in Dallas, or are you going to vote in Texas?
I requested and mailed in my absentee ballot to Georgia, and it was rejected.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that, because from what I understand, you did everything that you thought you needed to do.
So keep in mind, this is not my first time at the rodeo for absentee voting. I've been living in Dallas 7 years now. We have voted in all the previous elections, every single one, national, local. We request an absentee ballot. We get it. We send it off. No issue. This year, coincidentally, it's been screwed up from the very beginning. We requested the ballot. The request was lost. We followed that up. The second request, the ballot was sent to a Georgia address. This has never happened before. It always comes to the Dallas address. Coincidentally, both my daughters are also out of state and also requested to have absentee ballots. All 4 of our ballots were sent to our Georgia home address, which is not where it's supposed to go. It is supposed to go to the place you request,
right,
which is where you are.
And you specified that on the ballot that this is the address they should send it to.
You have to give them the out-of-state address for the absentee ballot.
Okay.
Was able to get a family member to find them and mail them to us so we could get them. We mailed them in. The 2 girls' ballots have been received and accepted. My husband's has been received and accepted, and mine was rejected for administrative purposes. We all did exactly the same thing because we were all doing it simultaneously, separately, but on the phones and face, and making sure that we were filling out, choosing the same answers and the same voting accordingly, and everything, the households, everything together. Coincidentally, they might use the signature thing and say one F wasn't as exactly the same as the previous F and all the others, but really, whose signature is always just exactly, identically, exactly the same.
Well, so I don't even know
I don't know what administrative excuse they're going to use, but that's the only thing I could see them trying to say.
No, so are they going to send, or did you request another ballot to reapply, or how does it work?
So in Georgia, I have the option. I'm going to call them. I haven't called them yet. I'm going to call them today. I had some other things taken care of. I'm going to call them today, get an exact reason for what the administrative was. And in Georgia, I have the option to go in person and vote, cast a new vote because that one was rejected. So that's what I'm planning to do.
So you're going to fly to Georgia just to vote?
I'm going to take time out of make a flight to Georgia and get that taken care of.
If this is voter suppression, if you didn't have the means to get there, your vote wouldn't count. And that is a definition of voter suppression.
Plain and simple. No other way to see it and interpret it.
So I mean, we have a whole show today that pretty much has 2 instances of this. Well, in the case of with Selena was able to talk about 50 of them being rejected on a daily basis.
And I decided to share with you because I know you have a platform, and I know Selena also gets involved, because so many of us are sending it off and not following up, just assuming we did everything correctly. And they're, really maneuvering behind the doors and everything to have this done, because they're not notifying you and they have ways of notifying you. They ask for email addresses, they ask for telephone numbers and so forth. So they could take it upon themselves to notify you that your ballot was rejected, but they're not notifying the constituents that your ballot has been rejected. So, yeah.
Well, Amelia Hartley Woodruff, thank you so kindly for talking to us here at Politics Done Right.
You're welcome. I'm just glad to get that story out because it needs to be told.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.